following on from the fight after the All-Star race at North Wilkesboro Speedway involving Ricky Stenhouse Jr. and Kyle Busch, NASCAR announced penalties this morning. Stenhouse Jr. was only fined $75,000, while two members of his JTG dog retreat racing team were suspended for multiple races. Now, the team mechanic, Clint Myrick, as well, was suspended for the next eight Cup Series races throughout the race at Pocono on July 14th. Now, meanwhile, the tuner, Keith Matthews, got a 4-race suspension through to Iowa on June the 16th. Richard Stenhouse, the father of Stenhouse Jr., was suspended indefinitely after putting his own hands on Busch. NASCAR Senior Vice President of Competition, Elton Sawyer, said when crew members and family members put their hands on the drivers, NASCAR is going to react. Sawyer also hinted that Stenhouse Jr. was fined because his actions were premeditated, saying better decisions could have been made after waiting 198 laps for Busch to walk back to the garage area following the race. Interesting enough, Busch and his team members weren't penalised as well. The photo taken by Alejandro Alvarez. Sorry, I'm going to say that again because my voice is gone. Alejandro Alvarez from NASCAR Digital Media. Fascinating, by the way, the NASCAR Digital Media team. I want to say quickly a quick thumbs up to them. They are an amazing bunch of people who helped me out several times, and all the media that cover NASCAR. They are a top team and one of the best we work with in motorsport. The fight has generated a lot of publicity for NASCAR in the mainstream, so a lot of people are confused why Stenhouse Jr. was fined. As you can see right here, Charlotte Motor Speedway is promoting the fight ahead of this weekend's Coca-Cola 600. It's pretty common to see fights between being promoted to sell tickets at future events. Current Cup driver Daniel Suarez and retired driver Elliott Sadler had their own opinions on this subject. Daniel said, "If it's so wrong, then why is it all over NASCAR social channels? We should be allowed to show our emotions. I don't get it. ... Elliott said, "This is dead wrong if you plan on using the wreck of fights for promotions moving forward. You can't fine a guy, then show it to sell tickets at NASCAR events. Double standard. Ricky saved the All-Star race." I wasn't commentating on the All-Star race as well. I had no voice left, but I did manage to catch up on it after in highlight bits. But the fight was something I got a text at 4 a.m. saying, fight, fight, fight. I was like, I was promised fights, and I wasn't there for it. That's 3 out of the 4 I've missed this year. But Matt, do you think that the penalties were justified? Also, do Suarez and Solder have a point here with their POVs?
Well, I thought the big fight of the weekend was obviously supposed to be Usyk versus Fury, but clearly that's been swept under the rug by this one at a non-points race that doesn't matter. I've said it before and I'll say it again. This stuff is silly. And to Suarez and Elliott Sadler's points, that it will get used by all the TV companies and by NASCAR going forward, much like the Larson-Bubba Wallace one was in the playoffs a couple of years ago. Much like the banned move of Ross Chastain was at Martinsville, of course, the Hail Melon. Things that we're not supposed to do and then have money and race suspensions given to us. You want us to keep doing to fill the promo stuff. Much like you, Josh, I didn't see the race, of course, because it was on at silly o'clock. The only thing I've watched from the weekend prior was the Imola Grand Prix, which we'll talk about later. But it's all just silly. Matthew Owen says, of course, his actions were premeditated. He couldn't get out of the track. Of course, at North Wilkesboro, there's no tunnel or bridges from the centre of the racetrack out. So he was stuck there, waiting around, thinking about it in, to use the American term, street clothes, ready to getting up in Kyle's face as soon as the race finished. Ben says, hello, Ben. The problem isn't the fine, it's the hypocrisy of promotion.
Okay, so I think we've lost Matt there as well on this stream. I didn't know if it was him or me, but Ben says the problem isn't the fine, it's the hypocrisy of promoting the hell out of it while trying to sell the drivers. It's unacceptable. Tell the drivers it's unacceptable. My point, and Matt's exactly right, tired of seeing the Hail Melon at this point too. Can't use a band move to promote your race as well. Matt, you back with us?
I didn't realise that I disappeared, but yeah, I was just reading Ben's point and kind of agreeing with it, and you've done the same. So I think we're all in agreement on this one.